because I am tired of seeing people live in struggle. You were not designed to live in struggle. There is something in you that you are designed to use. Your abundance comes from your gifts. I have wanted to make this video for as long as I can remember, but just like now, every time I start or every time I think about starting to make this video, I either get discouraged or something just interrupts me and I am unable to do it. But I am determined to go ahead and put this video out here for you guys because I think it is going to be impactful for so many people, myself included. So I want this video to be about how to be more resourceful, especially with the state that we are in. And when I say we, I mean Americans. If you've been paying attention to what's going on with our country, with our politics, with our government, Lord, economy, the whole shebang, okay? We're in some mess right now. But this is not a political channel, so we're not going to get into politics and all of that. But if you know, you know. Okay, shit is going down. And so I want to put this video out here because I do not want people to get discouraged. I really want you and everyone under the sound of my voice. We're keeping it lighthearted, okay? I really want you and everyone to hear me and hear me well. That the people who are in charge are not really in charge, okay? You and you alone, baby, are 100% in charge of how your life turns out. You. Not me. Not Mr. Orange Man. Okay. Not the landlord. Not your boss. You, baby. You are 100% in charge of how your life turns out. Yes, it is devastating to see and to experience and to witness what is going on in our country and in the world right now. But there are things that you can do to help yourself and to help your situation. We're not talking about the rest of the world because you can't help the rest of the world if you can't help yourself. So start with yourself. Start with getting yourself out of this low place that you are in if you are in that low place. Start with getting yourself more resources. Start with getting yourself more income, more wealth, more assets. Start with you. And I want you to open up your mind to the fact that, and I'm saying fact, okay? I'm saying facts intentionally. Open up your mind to the fact that God has always given you every single resource you have ever needed at every stage of your life. I know it's so easy to overlook that and to not pay attention to that, but at every point in your life, you have always had exactly what you needed. You may not have had what you wanted, but you have always had exactly what it is that you need. I need you in this moment, in this time, to believe, to truly believe and not just say it, because I know so many Christians just say it like empty-heartedly, but you need to 100% believe that God provides, because God does provide. God always provides you with whatever it is that you need in that moment of time. And when the time comes for you to need more, to acquire more, God is going to equip you with whatever it is that you need to get to that next level. But in this moment, I need you to believe that God is going to provide so that your eyes can be opened to the opportunities around you. So much of Christianity should really be based on mindset. God is really a mindset. If you believe that you are a child of God, then you need to have the mindset as a child of God, as a child of the Most High, the most powerful, the most loving God. Okay, you need to have that mindset. You need to walk in that. You need to live in that. You need to believe that. God has already equipped us right now in this very moment with whatever skills and resources we need to survive, and not just survive, but to live in a life of abundance. But you got to first believe that God is going to provide so that you can be open to the opportunities. And I'm going to give you some real life examples so that I can help you open up your eyes. And I love to use myself as an example. So in this video, I'm going to do that. I'm going to tell you a few things about myself. And I'm going to tell you how those little teeny tiny things are resources for me. God, there's so many to pick from. But let me just start with the obvious. I am very skilled. I may not be the best. You don't have to be the best. But I am very skilled at doing hair and makeup. Very skilled. And I get on here and I show my skills and my talents with the world. And in doing so, I earn income from that. And it's not $1 million, but I earn income from that. Enough to pay my bills. Enough to be secure in my finances and secure in myself. Not only do I have the skills to do hair and makeup, but I also have the skills to sit down and put on a full production. I can film and I can edit. I can also photograph and edit. I understand lighting. I understand videography. I understand sound. I understand marketing. I understand image. I know and understand so much. And I use all of that I know and understand, and I use it and I put it into here. I put it into here. And this is one of my resources. I'm using all of my skills and talents that I have learned and that I have been naturally gifted with here to fund my life, to build my security and stability. This is just one of the ways. This is just one of the things. I also have this innate, strong, very, very, very strong, urge to learn as much as I possibly can, which means that not only am I pretty, because pretty is a skill, and I just did a whole video on that. Click right here so you can go watch it. But not only do I have the skill to be pretty, but I also have the innate gift to be knowledgeable and educated. And being educated doesn't mean having multiple degrees. Being educated simply means having applicable knowledge. And I for sure have that. And the degree. But that is one of the innate gifts that God has given me. And I use that gift every day because every day I'm looking to learn something new so that I can come on here and intermingle that with my other skills by creating videos and teaching the world what I know, what I have learned. And that again turns into another resource. So let's get back to you. I just gave you a little tidbit about me. Let's get back to you. God has given you at least a few basic gifts, okay? Maybe you have the gift of discernment. You can read people's intentions without them having to tell you. Maybe you have the gift of vision. You can foresee things really well and you can plan for other people's lives, and not just other people's lives, but your own. Maybe you have the gift of communication, whatever just flows out your mouth just flows out so effortlessly and it always sounds so beautiful. Maybe you have the gift of style. Maybe you have the gift of fashion and beauty. Maybe you have the gift of pretty privilege. Maybe you have the gift of being an amazing mother. Whatever it is, or whatever they are, because oftentimes God does not give us just one gift. He gives us multiple gifts. And I have created several videos on this, and I want you guys to pick up what I'm putting down, because I am tired of seeing people live in struggle. You were not designed to live in struggle. There is something in you that you are designed to use. God-given gifts, babe. Use them. They are your basic resource. All of us are programmed with something or some things that are supposed to help us out in this lifetime that we can use so that we are not struggling. And the reason why you're struggling now is because you don't want to use the gifts that you've been given. You want to go along with what the world tells you that you're supposed to be doing, but because God has already told you, deep down there is something that you're supposed to be doing, babe, and you're not doing it. I want you this year to not allow yourself to be distracted about what the hell is going on around you. I want you to be so focused, so zoned in on using your God-given gifts as resources in your life so that you can have the abundance that God has planned for you. Because believe it or not, especially if you are a woman, your abundance comes from your gifts. Your wealth, your stability, your resources are going to come from you using your gifts. But you gotta really talk to yourself and stop being scared to do so. There's no reason for you to be scared to use your God-given gifts. God didn't give us the spirit of fear at all. Being fearful is not going to help you in any way at all. Unless you're about to be mauled by a bear, there is absolutely no reason for you to be afraid of anything. Use your God-given gifts so that you can experience more opportunities and more abundance. I didn't start experiencing the opportunities that I have until I started tapping into my God-given skills. My fiance and I have been trying to plan a wedding. If you never planned a wedding before, I just want to let you know this shit is hard, okay? And maybe it's just me, but I feel like it shouldn't be this difficult. Like, it shouldn't be this complicated, but it is. And I'm doing this planning. What's most frustrating for me is the budgeting and seeing the actual numbers. And maybe that's some more inner work that I need to do. But I could not fathom spending that much money on a singular event, But in doing this planning, one thing that really stood out to me, and I'm so glad that I came to this realization, is that God really gave me a gift of planning. And now I don't know what I'm meant to do with this gift. I guess I'll find out sooner or later. But baby, I can break a plan down to a T, like to the last penny. And in doing our wedding planning and budgeting, I was reminded of the time when I used to be a dancer. I was living in my first ever apartment. It was a 2-bedroom townhouse in like the middle of the ghetto. I'm talking gunshots every night, rats and roaches, police cars everywhere. Like it was bad. But it was what I could afford at the time. And I remember being in that apartment and so desperately wanting to get myself and my daughter out of that situation, out of that environment. I planned my escape, and I'm calling it my escape because, yeah. But I planned my escape like thoroughly. And within like 3 months, babe, I was out of there. Like, I was out of there. And I know that doesn't sound like much, but I went from living in a 2-bedroom apartment that was maybe like 1,000 square feet. Actually, it was 700 square feet because I just looked at the listing not too long ago. It was up for sale and I was like, that's odd. But it was a 700 square foot 2-bedroom apartment that was $500 a month. I went from living there to living in, I think it was maybe 2,000 square foot 2-bedroom apartment, and my rent was $1,400 a month. Yeah. When I set my mind to something, okay, baby, all I gotta do is make up the plan and execute it, and it's gonna happen. I have that gift, and I forgot for the longest time that I had that gift, that I actually did that stuff. And so I was planning for our wedding and I was breaking it down. I was breaking down the cost of everything, every single thing, right? And I was like equating that to like what needs to be done in order to earn this money, and in order to have extra money, and where that extra money is going to go, and all the time that's needed. Look, I had broken everything down. And my fiance, one of his gifts is recognizing the gifts in other people. But for some reason, he's annoying this way. He will not tell you what your gifts are. He just will push you to sort of see them yourself. And he doesn't just do this to me. I actively see him do this to other people around him. It's annoying, but whatever. And so all this time, he's been pushing me to plan for our wedding and to plan for other things as well. All this time. God, he's so annoying. But I'm so glad that he did it. It really helped me realize that another one of my gifts from God is the gift to plan, and to plan effectively. I'm not sure how I'm going to use that gift yet, or how it's meant to be used, but I'm glad that I opened up my eyes to it. And that's probably going to be another resourceful opportunity for me later on in the future. But I don't get so sidetracked. Where was I? I was supposed to be talking about you, and I started talking about me. But yeah, I used my God-given gifts in that moment so that I could get out of that struggling situation that I was in that ratty 2-bedroom apartment, into living in a more comfortable environment where I actually had the ability to like slow down and relax and actually work on healing myself. I started going to therapy after I moved into my new apartment because I had more money and I could afford to. And then after going to therapy, I met my fiance, which is crazy. And then I was finally in a place in my life where I was ready to actually be in a committed relationship, in a loving and committed relationship, and know and understand what that looked like. So you see, like it all works out. God always gives us exactly what we need when we need it to get to that next level and to experience the abundance that we're meant to experience. So back to you, in whatever situation that you're in, I want you to take a step back from the situation itself, and I want you to self-reflect and ask yourself, what am I naturally good at? What am I naturally good at? Like if I didn't have, a college education, like if I didn't have any type of schooling or external education, what is something that I would innately just know or be good at? Number 1, what are you naturally good at? And I want you to write these things down. Write them down. Number 2, what have I learned that I am also good at? What did you go to school for? If you didn't go to college while you were in grade school, what's some things that you picked up on that have still stuck with you? What are those things? What are things that you often spend a lot of time learning and studying on the internet? Because again, formal education is not the only type of education. What are things that you're on YouTube always looking up? Okay, clock it, because I know that's what you're doing over here on YouTube. Write that down because you know how to do it. What have I been taught by friends and family that I have grasped and fully know how to do? Not even fully know how to do, but you feel confident in doing. Okay, and by the time you finish asking yourself all those questions, you should have a full page of skills that you can use. Okay, and in 2025, I'm going to need you to take your focus off of the orange man and put it on you. Okay, and I want you to be looking over this list daily and asking yourself, how can I use at least one of these skills today to make my life better tomorrow? Because that's the goal. Use the skills that God gave you to make your life, your future better. If you are naturally a good cook, or maybe you've taken some cooking lessons, how can you use that? Should you start a cooking YouTube channel? Maybe. But if you don't necessarily have the skills to film and edit and market, that may not be the best option for you. Maybe you should just sell plates. Maybe you should actually open up a restaurant. Maybe you should open up a food truck or a pop-up truck. Or maybe you should write a cookbook if you're also good at writing. Maybe you should just take photos and stick with Instagram of photos of your food. Maybe you should just write down your recipes and create a blog. But there's so many different ways that you can do that. So many different ways that you can do that. If your skill is cooking, you don't have to just have a cooking YouTube channel. If you don't know how to film and edit, don't be like, oh, I'm good at this thing, but I'm not good at the other thing, so therefore I shouldn't use any of my gifts and skills. No, don't do that. Don't do that to yourself. Don't use the gift. Figure out how to use it. If you're good at speaking, but you're not good at filming and editing, and so you feel like you can't have a YouTube channel, you may be good at speaking, but you don't have to film and edit for a podcast. You could be good at speaking, not know how to make a podcast, not know how to set up a YouTube channel, but you can market yourself to colleges, to companies, to special events, and you can speak for them and get paid for doing that. Open up your mind, babe. Open it up. You have the skills, you have the resources, you just gotta use them. Let me give you some more examples so I can help you open up your mind, okay? This one is for the men, primarily for the men. I don't know if these type of men watch my videos, but hopefully, the ones that I'm speaking to, you'll see this video and you'll pick up what I'm putting down. If you are really good at selling that illegal stuff, I'm going to need you to hear me out, okay? God has given you a gift. That's not what you're supposed to be using it for. Sir, if you can flip dope, you can flip other things, okay? God has given you a gift and you don't need to use it for that, okay? Don't put your life at risk using the gifts that God gave you, okay? Figure out how to use it and figure out how to use it wisely. If you can flip dope, you can flip furniture, you can flip cars, you can flip houses, you can flip antiques. The limit is endless, okay? If you have that gift and you have that skill, if you can flip that, you can flip something else. And there are a lot of things out there that you can do that with. Shoes, purses, furniture. People do it with furniture all the time. You find some furniture that's cheap, you fix it up, you sell it at a higher price. It's the same thing. It's just legal. You're not risking your life. And for all the moms out there who maybe think that they don't have any skills or any talents, babe, if you can get a 2-year-old to sit down and listen and be quiet, that is a skill. Teach me. Teach me, God. But that is a skill. If you're a mom and you taught your children how to use the bathroom before 2 years old, that's a skill, okay? Being a mom is a skill. A lot of times people think that like it's something innate that like once you give birth, you're supposed to automatically be like the most amazing mother. No, a lot of us are having to learn and learn the hard way. So if you are naturally a good mother, babe, first of all, you lucked out. Like, I love that for you. But that's a skill. Use that. Teach people. Show people. You know, and turn it into a resource. Create a class. Create a course. Babysit. Open up a daycare. Open up your own school. There are so many different things that you could do with that. If you're a mom and maybe you're like really good at fixing up your kids' clothes so that, you know, they can wear them longer. Not a lot of people still do that. Not a lot of people have that skill. You could be teaching, you could be making stuff, you could be selling stuff. I'm just saying, everyone should have their own business. It is okay to work for someone else. I'm not knocking that, but everyone should have their own business. Everyone should be using their own skills and resources to their benefit, because you cannot help the world if you cannot help yourself. You got to start with yourself. And starting with yourself means using the natural God-given gifts that you have to open a business and to have a successful business so that that business can help other people, while at the same time helping you. Keeping you stable. That's the goal. Okay? That's the big picture, really. Capitalism really only helps a few people. But if we all create our own business and we all are minding our own business, we're not only just helping ourselves and sustaining ourselves, but we're helping the entire world. We're benefiting the world and ourselves at the same time, because we're doing what we were naturally meant to do, while also simultaneously using our gifts to help those who need them. I'm here using my gifts in filming and editing and being pretty and all of the information that I know, and I'm sharing it here with you. At the same time, being very passionate and loving what I do and helping the people that actually need the help. And another thing with being resourceful and using your gifts, you gotta let go of this idea that in order to be successful, you need to attract the entire world. You may not need to help 1,000 people in order to be successful. It could be, you know, you're doing your craft, you're doing your thing, and that one person that you help changes your entire life. You can have a product or a class or whatever it is, a service, and just from servicing one person, it could change your entire life financially. It can change your entire life just by helping one person or 10 people or 100 people, but it doesn't have to be 1 million or 1 billion or the entire planet, you know? You don't need all of that. You can have success with a YouTube channel and just have 100 subscribers. You may not be able to monetize your channel, but you can promote your products and services to 100 people, and those 100 people could be paying all of your bills, okay? They're getting the useful resources that they need from you, and you're in exchange are getting what you need to live and survive and to enjoy your life. You got to let go of the idea that you need the whole world behind you in order for you to be successful, because you don't. You just need a few good people. In order for you to find those few good people that you need, you first got to figure out what your God-given gifts and resources are so that you know what you have to offer people. That's it. I'm rambling. This video is way longer than I intended for it to be, but you know what? Maybe it was meant to be that way. I hope you got what you needed from this video. I hope you took notes. because I told you to write it down. I hope you was taking notes, and I hope you actually implement in your life what I told you here in this video, because in 2025, I do not want you focused on the orange man. I want you focused on yourself. I want to see all of us thriving on our own and helping each other simultaneously. That's what I want to see. We don't need the orange man, but I want you to focus on the fact that God has given you God-given gifts. God has given you the talents and the resources that you need to be fruitful and be abundant in this life. I want success for you. I want success for all of us. We deserve it. We're going to have it. It's 100% possible. And I'm 100% sure that it's in God's plan for all of us to be successful. So please use the information that I gave you in this video to be more resourceful so that you can be more abundant in this life. But that's it for this video. I really do hope that you enjoyed it. If you want more content like this, babe, let me know, because I thoroughly enjoy making this type of content. Just let me know down in the comment section below, and go ahead and subscribe to this YouTube channel. I'm gonna link some of my favorite similar videos right here. But that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching, especially all the way through to the end. You're a real one. I love you. I appreciate you. Thank you again, and I'll see you in the next video.